Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know how it will sound to you, but I find it very interesting. I think it's something that needs to be talked about. I think it's something that everybody needs to know about and everybody has to be aware and conscious about. We're in a very unprecedented times where nothing can be predicted. Nobody knows what is happening. It's just only God that knows what He is doing. And so today I want to take this opportunity to talk to us all about one word: focus. Focus in the midst of this lockdown. How do you make the most out of this? It is super difficult right now to stay focused. Whether you have money or whether you have a job or whether you don't have a job, whether you have a family, whether you don't have a family, it is just so difficult with all the craziness and all the news that is going on around the world. So today I decide to talk about focus. I know social media is now a trend. Everybody, even my mother in the village, now uses social media more than anybody. And she will call me and tell me, hey, I see the numbers and they are doing this and they are that. How are you guys coping out there? And I'm like, Mommy, I am in America and I'm not looking at the numbers. Trust me, I don't watch the news. I watch the ones that will promote my spirit, will give me that peace that I need to go through these times. I don't check COVID-19 updates anymore. Initially I checked it for 2 days and it nearly drove me crazy. So I stopped checking it. So I know social media is a big thing now. Everybody wants to stay attuned and know the news and everything. And it is one thing that is taking your attention from your goal. Look, this COVID-19 is gonna pass. We are going to go over it. We're going to walk over it. Okay. We're going to walk through it like the valley in the shadow of death, as the Bible says, as David describes it. We are going to walk through it. And out of it, there's going to be an opening. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. And it will depend on who sowed the seed or investment in developing themselves that's going to lead, where you invested your time. Social media is still going to be booming at the time, but how much are you going to be making after that? How much are you going to be making after that? Are you still going to be jobless and be dependent on people? And I say this to the women. Look, I know it's crazy. I'm a mother. I work with two little kids, like 1 and 2. I have my husband to help me and everything, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. It is just so difficult trying to stay focused in these times. And so, yeah, social media is taking our time, but just make sure that you are investing in the right things. I go on Twitter, I go on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube a lot, but I go there for particular things. I am a loctician, so I'm interested in learning new trends in locking hair. I'm interested in food. I'm a foodie. I love to cook. So yeah, I'm interested in stuff like that. I have great celebrities that I follow, but I always ask myself, whilst I'm awake watching these things, what are those people doing? Because they wake up at a time when I am sleeping to create these contents so that I will watch it. But what stands for them? What is in there for them? What do they stand to gain? Apart from the popularity, what do they stand to gain? What do they stand to add to their value of human existence? And that is it. It's focus. You have to make sure you are focusing on the right things. So I'm not saying don't do social media. It's great, but just make sure you are, reading the right stuff, getting the right things. If you learning, there's so many things all over Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, so many things that you can learn. And so don't just waste that time. Don't just waste that data that you have on your phone just to watch people and be laughing. Another thing I also want to talk about is how do you balance between family work and what you want to learn. How do you focus on what the most important things? It is great. I mean, this lockdown has helped me a lot to bond with my kids and my family in a way that I had never been able to do. So it's great to spend time with them. It's great to be with a family and be working. It's such a challenge, trying to toggle between all, because everybody's trying to get your attention. Your friends are trying to get your attention. Everybody's trying to get your attention. But how do you still stay focused? You should know the things that are important to you. Family is important to you. Do it. Is there a project that you think you can do that can bring the whole family together? I started planting. I started planting some herbs at my backyard, and I don't have a very big backyard. It's amazing. I don't have a very big backyard. I just had a small portion with some soil on it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put something in it, because it got to a point in time that I was tired. I didn't know what to do with my 2-year-old and 1-year-old. So I started farming, and they started enjoying it. They loved it. So this is an activity that, even though I am investing time with the family, spending time with the kids and everything, it's like a win-win. Everybody's getting something out of it. By the end of the day, I had some time to do my gardening, which I have postponed forever. So in the end, it was a win-win for us. I got my gardening started. My kids got some playtime with me. And so that was my focus time. That was just 15 to 30 minutes of me spending time with them in gardening. Created some fun for all of us. It boosted our morale and everything that we wanted to do at the time. So what I'm saying is, focusing on something doesn't have to be really a huge thing. It doesn't have to be a huge task. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to read a book or understand a theory to get it done. You just have to start something. And sometimes God puts things on your heart that you don't even understand. You ask yourself, this is the dumbest thing that I can ever think of. Let me tell you a story. When I was single, I was singly married. I was married, my husband wasn't around. So I was back in Africa, and I was working and I was schooling at the same time. And the kind of work that I used to do, I worked around the clock. Like sometimes I'll be working till late, like 12 midnight, and I'll be working because I have to get some reports ready by the next day. So I was working around the clock, and I was schooling as well. So I was studying as well. Then one day, my mother-in-law asked me to braid her hair. And I was like, Mommy, I don't know how to braid hair. And then I remembered that when I was like in my teens, I used to gather kids in the neighborhood and braid their hair. Like I see children in the streets, girls in the streets, and then I'll call them, wash their hair, and I'll braid it for them. So a lot of people got to know me without even me knowing them, because I'll just call that child. Like their hair was so beautiful. And so I'll just braid it, and then they will go and tell their mom. And everybody knew my mom because my mom is a food vendor. So everybody knows, oh, watch it, Ama, watch it. So everybody in the neighborhood got to know that, oh, this girl has been doing this. I forgot for a long, because I had, stopped doing that. I had moved on. I'd gone to college and do it and all stuff. And so when my mom-in-law said I should braid her hair, I was like, Mommy, I don't braid hair. But that night when I went to bed, it dawned on me. I would say the Spirit of God spoke to me that, why don't you learn how to braid? And I was like, why should I learn how to braid? I'm, working, I'm schooling. What else do you want me to do? It was the dumbest thing anybody can think of at a time, especially when you are, working and you're making money, you're schooling, you're improving yourself, your career is, you're building yourself, you're building your career. Who would think of another thing, a skill, But it dawned on me, and I didn't take it for granted. The next morning, I called my husband. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sign up for this apprenticeship. And I'm not going to go to a school where, you come and learn theories. I'm going to go to a typical salon where I will learn from people, who are older or who are younger. I will succumb to it. And so I started. Little did I know that 2 years down the line, I'll be in America jobless, and that braiding will be the thing that will help me to survive. What am I spent time. I didn't have time. Like Monday through Friday, I was working and I was schooling at the same time. The only moments I had was Saturdays and Sundays. My Sundays are blocked because it's church. For me, it's church. And so only Saturdays. And I was going 8 a.m. in the morning and I was getting back home like 12 a.m. midnight because the place was that busy. But I did it. I did it for some time. And because, it wasn't, I loved it. It wasn't difficult for me to learn from people that, my younger sisters, people that taught me were people like my younger siblings that, I was taking care of. So it was so easy for me, but I concentrated. I didn't get distracted. I didn't get distracted or dissuaded by the fact that I'm working. Why will I be, learning how to braid now? But 2 years down the line, it helped me. It helped me. I came to America. I wasn't working. I didn't have anything to do. But because I knew and I had that skill and I spent that time, that once a week, one day out of a week, just to learn how to braid, it saved me. And now I do my own hair. I do people's hair. So that is an additional income that I make. And why? It was focused. When I told my mom at the time, she was like, why would you go into apprenticeship? And I said, I don't know, but I just love to braid. And today, whenever she asks me for money, I tell her that, Mom, the money that I'm sending you is the money from my braiding business. And she goes like, oh, when you say yes, So that is it. Sometimes the ideas that come to you may seem so dumb. And the people that you expect will support you. My mom didn't support me. My husband did, but well, he didn't really bother to, go into details of why he thinks it was. He was like, okay, if you want to go do it, go do it. My mom-in-law did not even express her support for me. The people that sometimes you would expect their approval before you start doing something may not be the one to start, approving your things. All you have to do is the dream. Joseph had a dream. He told his brothers. His brothers were envious of him. They put him in a pit. But in the end, somebody realized the value of Joseph's dreams. And that was Pharaoh. And he became the prime minister. Joseph had 11 brothers, including himself 12. But they didn't support him. They didn't support his vision. They didn't support his dream, his talent of being a dreamer. They didn't support it. It was dumb. How can you, a little boy, tell us that we will be under you and we will serve you? That is the dumbest thing anybody wants to say to their brothers or their older siblings. But in the end, what happened? God, that dream was there. And God worked through other people. So sometimes somebody outside your cycle will see that dream and may support you or may criticize you. Take it and focus on that. Focus on that. It doesn't have to be all day, all night. It can be 30 minutes a day. It can be once a week. And this time present a perfect atmosphere for you to start that. It doesn't matter how dumb you think it is. Don't do what everyone does. Do what you see. What you see in your vision. What you see in your dreams. What God has put on your heart to be. Concentrate on that. Focus on that. And you will shine so bright. I love you and have a blessed time. Mwah.